Another pigmentation serum? Sure, but this one's got real science behind it. Let's talk Thiamidol, what it is, how it works, and whether it's worth your time and money. Thiamidol is a type of resorcinol. It is a patented ingredient developed by Beiersdorf, that is the parent company of Eucerin. It's a potent tyrosinase inhibitor, which means it works by blocking the enzyme responsible for melanin production. So Eucerin funded a number of high-quality studies, and the key is high quality. One key 2019 double-blind randomized study published in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology, and it was peer-reviewed, compared Thiamidol to hydroquinone. Over 12 weeks, participants using Thiamidol saw a significant reduction in hyperpigmentation, comparable to hydroquinone, but with way better tolerance and fewer side effects. Another 2020 study evaluated long-term safety and efficacy and found that using Thiamidol 4 times daily was safe, and skin improvements continued over 6 months. Who is it best for? It's best for brown skin tone prone to post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. That, to me, is huge. That's why I wanted to try this. It's also best for melasma-prone individuals looking for a hydroquinone alternative. So to get best results out of this, you want to pair Thiamidol with, first of all, an AHA or a BHA exfoliant to increase penetration. You also want to pair it with niacinamide for barrier support and synergy. Niacinamide is that all-star. And of course, to keep your results, there is mandatory usage of sunscreen. That's the only thing that's going to prevent redarkening. What about retinoids? Yes, you can use it, but only if your skin is already used to them. If you are not used to them, do not start it anywhere near where you start this. Like, definitely space it out over time. If you're using a strong vitamin C in the morning, then I would recommend that you do not pair it in that same routine to minimize irritation risk, at least initially. Let's talk about what my experience with this has been. So if you go back a few weeks, you'll notice in the skincare routines that I was doing that I have been testing this. And what I found is that it really greatly reduced my post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, like acne marks. Where I haven't seen quite as much success yet is actually in some of the melasma that I have. This side is a lot lighter than this side. So can I state that it's improved? I'm not quite sure that I can, at least not at this point. If I was to use it, say, over the period of 8 to 12 weeks, and it has not been that long yet, then it may improve. So I am actually going to keep using this. It will stay in my rotation. Does this replace anything else that I'm currently using? The answer is no. I am still going to use multiple tyrosinase inhibitors. I think that just makes common sense with brown skin that's prone to acne and prone to pigmentation to do that. That advice does not change. So the other products that I'm using, like Level, they will stay in my routine. What about sensitivities and stuff? What was I talking about? Well, when I first started using this, it definitely was extra sensitive in certain parts of my face, almost to the point of giving me a little, I don't want to say it was a rash. It was just almost red, inflamed looking area. Not too inflamed for me to stop use. I also listen to my skin very well, right? I know what my skin looks like, feels like, and I know when I would be pushing the boundary, so to speak. So I kept going with it because I knew I could, and eventually it calmed down, everything worked out, and I saw successful results with it. But it is something that you do want to keep an eye out for. There are sensitivities that have been reported with it. It is fragranced, and maybe some of the sensitivity was due to that. I generally don't have an issue with fragrance in skincare products. In fact, I rather enjoy it. And some people have a lot of sensitivity to fragrance products. So if you're one of them, then unfortunately, this is going to be a no-go. What about the 4X use that Eucerin talks about? So this, the serum form, is actually the most studied form in the clinical studies. Your AMU's one pump is 1x out of your 4x daily usage. If you apply it in the evening, then that's 2x out of your twice daily usage. Well, what about the other two? So it does come as multiple products. There's a dark spot corrector. So say you're somebody that's not really prone to hyperpigmentation all over your face, you have a particular area, you only want to go in and treat that, or you have an area that's like extra bad, like I have here, and you want to go in with a specific dark spot corrector, then they do have that as a product. And if I used that, that would be, 1-2x use of this AM and PM. Well, that use would be the 3x use if I used it just once a day, or 4x use if I used both of the products twice daily. They also have an SPF. If you're using the dark spot corrector and you're using this, you cannot use the SPF. That would exceed that 4x per day usage. So it would go beyond that safety usage for you. So please be mindful of that. Please note that this is very safe for brown skin, but you should not exceed that 4x usage at all. So for me personally, this is a huge step forward in over-the-counter hyperpigmentation treating products. I give it a definite yes. Just be mindful of the fragrance, just be mindful of any sensitivity and how much you use it.